From the tallest of the piles of the dead came a monster. It burst forth from the dead like a great fish from the sea, and its bellow was so evil it could not possibly come from a godly creature. Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today we bring you SCP Foundation KETER Class Object SCP-4715. SCP-4715 is a large, six-legged carnivorous mammal with chimeric morphology standing at a minimum height of 5.2 meters and weighing 2,300 kilograms. Genetic analysis has been inconsistent, showing traces of modern wildlife, as well as Pleistocene-era and anomalous animals. It has a robust frame and a vaguely feline skull, with a carnivorous dental structure, stout muzzle, forward-set eyes, and a pair of large, backward-swept horns. Its primary forelimbs are long and end in proportionately large hands. It has 7 fingers, and each finger has a large semi-retractable claw. Its secondary forelimbs are multi-jointed and significantly longer, terminating in 3 heavily clawed fingers. Its hind legs appear ursine, and its tail is long and muscular, acting like a tripod for balance when standing on its hind legs. 4715 is extremely aggressive and has been observed attempting to attack most humans it has encountered. However, it has never been observed hunting or pursuing other organisms. Larger animals will avoid 4715, instinctively fleeing from its scent. 4715 displays a level of intelligence roughly on par with that of a chimpanzee, and displays an aptitude for the fashioning and usage of tools as weapons. 4715 is also highly intuitive. It can accurately read the emotional and mental state of human beings around it. If 4715 perceives a subject intending to harm another, including itself, it will rapidly gain mass proportional to the number of such subject. The most egregious breach saw 4715 reach a height of approximately 24 meters and a weight approaching an estimated 56,000 kilograms. But depictions in recovered historic artifacts suggest the potential to grow larger, given sufficient exposure to situations of conflict. This effect reverses quickly as soon as it can no longer sense the harmful intentions of others, and it radiates intense heat as its mass decreases. 4715 has been observed attempting to draw uninvolved individuals into states of conflict, just to increase its biomass, and often displays fascination and attraction towards states of conflict between human beings. Additionally, 4715 has proven highly resistant to most forms of conventional weaponry and physical trauma. It possesses reasonably consistent internal systems, and testing has shown that it does not require any form of nutrition to survive. It is resistant to most toxins, both artificial and naturally produced, as well as radiation and caustic or acidic chemical exposure. Oils produced beneath its fur and skin flame makes 4715 resistant to temperatures higher than 1600 degrees Celsius and below -150 degrees Celsius. The most reliable method of control appears to be lacrimatory agent, a chemical that will cause severe eye and respiratory pain, and capsicanoids, which it appears to have no particular resistance to. In addition to SCP-4715's considerable natural durability, it can regrow significant amounts of lost tissue, including limbs that have been lost in violent encounters. Repair and regeneration of injuries and trauma will always spread outwards from the central nervous system, and will take longer to repair the more significant it is. To date, nothing is proven capable of causing damage to 4715's cranium, vertebral column, or central nervous system, and nothing is proven capable of neutralizing its capacity for regeneration. The existence of 4715 was confirmed by Foundation following an event that happened in October of 1916, but there is evidence suggesting its origin dates back significantly further in history. Recovered documents originating from various groups of interest, historical artifacts, and archaeological finds suggest that SCP-4715 has existed in its present form for most of human history. In 1981, a large wood carving originating from the mid-14th century Prussia was sent to the SCP Foundation. It depicts 16 mounted Teutonic knights engaging in a cavalry charge against 4715. This is one of the earliest known depictions of 4715's size-altering effect known. If the scale of this depiction is correct, it depicts 4715 being 9.4 meters in height, while engaging 16 mounted knights, which is consistent with the size change displayed in modern observations. An engraving translated to read, "Banishing of the beast from the earth," is present beneath the image. In 2005, a series of proto-human cave paintings were discovered in the Ardèche region of France. These paintings consist of imagery of 4715 engaging in attacks upon humanoid figures, with many examples being surrounded by skulls and other symbolic imagery. Radiocarbon dating places the origin of these paintings at being approximately 32 to 30,000 years before present. And while an archaeological team was researching on 4715, a journal that seems to be the depiction of 4715 by a Chinese farmer was found, and was then confiscated by the Foundation. The journal has sketches and descriptions about a monster emerging from a large pile of battlefield casualties and proceeding to move at speed in the direction of Nanjing. The following is a translated passage from the journal. After the village was massacred and the soldiers moved on, there were many bodies still clinging to earthly possessions that could be of great aid to my family. Waiting for the cover of nightfall, the smell was even worse than usual for a massacred town, and it seemed in the light of the setting sun that the sea of corpses stretched as far as the eye could see. Then, from the tallest of the piles of the dead, came a monster. It burst forth from the dead like a great fish from the sea, and its bellow was so evil it could not possibly come from a godly creature. It shook the blood from its midnight hair and fled with haste to Nanjing. This discovery of LOI 517 Sigma has proven invaluable in not only broadening the knowledge of SCP-4715, but also in providing many of the current containment procedures implemented today. If it wasn't for the knowledge obtained from this site, SCP Foundation would likely still be trying to contain 4715 with automated gunfire and having to withstand containment breaches every few years. LOI 517 Sigma is a cave discovered by civilians in 2009, but was then further investigated by the Foundation. It was described as some kind of shiny bunker or Egyptian Colosseum in some caves, lit up by shiny plants. Investigation revealed that this structure was a long abandoned and dormant entrance to an organic complex. This complex has been determined to have served as the containment of 4715. There are minimal signs of damage to any of the structures, and the organic devices within are alive and powered, but inactive. A substructure at the bottom of the complex has been confirmed as once housing SCP-4715 and is constructed from indestructible plant material, inscribed with various designs bearing similarity to those found in various occult manuscripts and cave paintings. The structure features multiple redundant doors and linked security features, all of which are inactive. Rooms throughout the rest of the complex appear to be focused on providing research, administrative, and residential functionality, and show no sign of habitation. Throughout the complex are multiple images and descriptions of SCP-4715, depicting it engaging numerous instances of the original owners of LOI 517 Sigma and other unidentified entities in combat, in a manner largely consistent with modern observation, though some depictions show 4715 significantly larger than any previously recorded size. It is unknown if this is due to the artistic interpretations being inaccurate or if 4715 can indeed reach even larger sizes. Beyond those pertaining to containment, there are two notable sources of documentation regarding 4715 that may shed some light on the possible origin of it. The first document was found carved above the access ports on the structure comprising the containment chamber, formerly housing 4715. The text is well preserved, but sections have been rendered incomprehensible by large scratches obscuring the writing. It is hypothesized that it was carved as a failsafe in the event of power outage. And found in another document, a text was painted onto a wall within the complex beside a large organic mechanism with various interfaces. And it quote, "The day the flowers bloomed was long ago now. Our shining cities are gone. The surviving children turned to beasts of the earth. We are gone now. The children of the sun have turned our weapons upon themselves, and they sleep in the night. They know not of the demon born from war, and cast aside any tool that could turn aside its fury. Endless rotation ends now. May the hairless usurpers suffer at its hands and pay for their transgression. To any child of the night who finds my message, know that I have committed this crime to avenge our demise. You will not forgive me." It is pre-assumed that this text controlled the security or power of the complex. Along with this message, the skeleton of an SCP-1000 instance was discovered resting on the floor of the room with a hole in its skull. If you want to know more about SCP-1000, also known as Children of the Night, click here for the video. Analysis and radiocarbon dating of the skull suggests that the individual killed itself 34 to 33,000 years before present. But for now, SCP-4715 has been contained in the containment complex within Area 4715-23. Area 4715-23 is an underground compound located 315 meters below sea level, at an undisclosed location within Canada's Steinkine region, chosen for both its distance from the nearest city and proximity to LOL 517 Sigma. Stocks of materials required for Procedure 4715 Waning Moon are to be maintained on site. Procedure 4715 Waning Moon is a ritual that must be performed on the full moon of each month and requires the use of 1 D-Class personnel, hereby referred to as the Shaman, 60 kilograms of red meat, a hand-woven wicker basket, and human blood. The Shaman must be anointed with human blood and will then place the meat within the wicker basket. No other personnel may carry out this task. The Shaman will proceed to enter the containment chamber holding 4715 and place the meat on the ground before 4715. They will then prostrate themselves before the basket and recite the phrase, "This we offer for your continued torpor, flesh of your time, blood of my blood." The Shaman must remain prostrate and continue reciting the phrase until SCP-4715 has consumed the entirety of the meat. After consuming the meat, 4715 may or may not kill and consume the Shaman, but doing so does not indicate a failure of the procedure. If the Shaman survive, they are to retrieve the basket and exit the containment chamber. Failure to perform Procedure 4715 Waning Moon will result in an exponential increase in aggression from SCP-4715. To date, most of these attempts have been successful. The continued use of surviving shamans has been approved, along with reward, punitive, and incentive programs among the D-Class population held on site, in an effort to ensure the continued success of Procedure 4715 Waning Moon. Before we end this video, we are proud to present these incredibly sweet pieces of fan art. A big thank you to all of you. You can now send us your fan art, and we will be more than happy to show off your best art piece in our next video. Check out our description below on how to submit. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Which SCP do you want to see in the next video, and why it is interesting? Let us know in the comment below. We will draw your story and share it with the world. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Please share it to your friends if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!